Hi, guys, and welcome back to Too Much. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm coming off of a cold, so I apologize in advance for the sound of my voice. It's not great. Gonna try and power through here. And this is an early morning recording for me. I usually do afternoons, so lots working against me, but I am here. Also, if you're watching this, I'm wearing a little bit of Too Much merch and holding it. Just a walking billboard these days. My merch just launched. If you have not checked it out or ordered some, please do. If you want, I don't know if you like it. We've got hats, we've got sweatshirts, tank tops, and this cute little wine tumbler or coffee tumbler. There's coffee in this for your little hot girl walks this summer or boy walks, whatever. I don't know at what point in my marketing I'm going to explain this or if it needs an explanation, but the In My Opinion merch is a little nod to my episode where I explained the story behind the unhinged split. And it was something that I said throughout to shelter myself from getting in trouble about anything. So if you ever feel this way, if you're ever in an argument with someone and you just want to be very clear that this is in my opinion, this one's for you. Anyways, today I'm just going to go right down the rabbit hole and we are going to do another Ask Emma. You guys constantly send me questions. I bank them all. And during these episodes, if you're new here, I go through the list of questions. Everything is pretty much on the fly. I obviously have to take the questions from Instagram and put them in my phone and read them, so I do see them, but I am not really working out answers ahead of time. It's pretty much on the fly. It's kind of like a game for me, just to keep things interesting from the maybe monotony of my week over week solo episodes and now guest episodes. Let's go down the rabbit hole, shall we? Per usual, there's really no rhyme or reason to these. They're going to be all over the place as far as theme. It's just what you guys have been asking and sending in. So, question number 1. What are some signs you may need to reflect because relationships aren't working out? Well, I would first say it's always time to reflect. There is never a time where you should be looking back on any situation, whether it's a relationship, friendship, job, decision, and you're not reflecting. I, as we know, have been in so many relationships, and what I think the beauty of that is that I've been able to look back and reflect on all of them, whether we ended, whether they broke up with me or I broke up with them, whatever it is. I just think that every relationship you have and situation you're in is a learning experience. So it's always good to reflect. If you are seeing consistencies of things ending when maybe you thought that it wasn't going to end, I definitely think that's a great time to look at the common denominators. The reality is that people are mirrors and they can show you either the best in you or the worst in you. When you're dating someone or even just interacting with someone, you can look deep into their eyes and there will be a reflection there. And it will either be them bringing something good out in you or them bringing something bad out in you. And I'm not saying that like your bad actions are their fault or anything like that. It's more that their actions will cause a reaction in you. And whether you like that reaction or not is extremely telling of if you should be surrounding yourself with that person. When I look back at all of my exes, there are certain ones where I'm like, I did not like how I was acting with them. I don't like that Emma. I don't like the actions that Emma was taking. I don't like the words that were coming out of her mouth. So why was I saying them? Maybe this person was triggering something in me, being a mirror and reflecting a part of me that I didn't like. That's kind of when you know you should step away from someone, because there are people who are going to bring out the best in you. When I look at my partner now, he brings out the absolute best in me. And I'm not saying that I'm always a good person when I'm around him or I'm always doing the best. I'm more of saying that even when he is making me face my own demons, he makes me want to be better. So like that's a good mirror. But there are people who I've been with in the past that didn't do that. So I think looking at all of your interactions collectively, understanding the common denominator, who brought out the best in me, who brought out the worst in me, why did they bring out the worst in me? Were they anxiety inducing? Were they bringing out these core wounds that I have from when I was a child, where maybe I was ignored? So I was always feeling like I needed to get their attention and grasp at what was never even really going to be there for me or what they're not even willing to provide. I think that's really important to do. And that's the best way you can identify these patterns. So it's always good to reflect because obviously you are the common denominator no matter what. Any situation that you're in, it takes two to tango. So what was I getting out of it? What wasn't I getting out of it? Did I like myself then? No, change it. That's the beauty of breakups and relationships ending. You can be whoever you want to be in the next relationship. If you didn't like who you were in that past relationship, change it for the next one. You can always grow. You can always better yourself. It's just about being self-aware and identifying what went wrong, how you can course correct, and be better for yourself and the next person so that you're happier overall. Look for patterns in what they're saying to you. If you're constantly being broken up with because someone says, you're not letting me in, you're putting up a wall, okay, time to reflect. What is it that you are holding back? What is it that is making you afraid of vulnerability? Unpack that. Change it. If you want to. That's a very long-winded answer for your question, but sometimes it does take being with a lot of different people to recognize your own flaws. You suddenly recognize patterns in behaviors, and you have to boil it down to you are the common denominator. You are in control of you, whether that means changing partners or changing yourself. You are in control of that outcome. Next question. How to find confidence doing things alone? All my friends have significant others, and I'm tired of being alone. I talked a lot about this in the Confidence Can Be Faked episode because that's exactly that. Confidence can be faked. You can create confidence. Security is something that needs to be built and established over time, I believe, in my opinion. But if you look confident, you will be confident. And everyone around you will think you're confident. If your friends are all in relationships and they're all out doing their own thing, one of my favorite quotes is, "The universe only helps those who help themselves." So if you are feeling exhausted about being the single one, being alone all the time, help yourself in the situation. Go have a drink by yourself. Go have a coffee by yourself. Go sit in a public place. Look good. Be confident. And don't close yourself off. Be open to people and to new opportunities and to conversations. I can't tell you how many times I have done that, gone somewhere by myself, and it's all about the energy you're giving off. If you go sit somewhere by yourself and you're like this the whole time and you're scrolling and you're not looking around and you're not open, then who's going to want to come talk to you? So number one, it's putting yourself in those situations. Go do it. Number two, I would ask yourself, what is it that is so intimidating or scary about strangers that you don't feel confident going to do things by yourself? Is it that you think that they're going to judge you? Let me ask you this. Who the fuck are they? Do you even know them to ever receive or know their judgment? So what? So what if they sit there and they say, look at that girl sitting all by herself? So what? That says more about them than it does about you. You are a confident person who is going out in public on their own. And maybe that person is jealous and saying, wow, I wish I had the confidence to go sit in a bar by myself and have a drink. Or maybe they're saying, gosh, I want to go talk to that person. They look really interesting. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what strangers think about you. If you go somewhere and are doing it for yourself because you want to put yourself out there so that you can have the future that you want, there is so much honor in that. That's something to be celebrated. So fuck anyone who would judge you. So really, what is it that's scaring you about going out in public and doing things by yourself? Just to give you my own experience in this and where I can say that I have done this and I'm proven in it. I went to fucking Thailand by myself once for 10 days and I loved it. It was like the best 10 days of my life. I went to dinner by myself. I went to drinks by myself. I went to a Muay Thai fight by myself. You know, I did all these things and I even did a 10-hour excursion snorkeling by myself. I mean, granted, it was part of a group, but I was alone. I went by myself, but you know what? I made friends because there are people who see that person who's by themselves and they're intrigued by that and they want to go talk to them because that person looks like they have a story. Why are they there by themselves? It sparks curiosity. So that alone should give you reason to go do something by yourself. Sometimes when I was single, I actually didn't even like doing things with people because I was like, I don't want you to mess up any opportunity I may have to meet someone new, whether platonically or romantically, because sometimes people are more intimidated to go up to someone when there's two of them. Oh, I don't want to interrupt. Oh, they look like they're having a good time. I don't want to get in the way of that. If you are alone and you have confidence and you are giving off the energy of I want to meet people and I want new and exciting opportunities, that's really exciting for other people too. So I hope that just gave you the fucking confidence. That's how you can get it. Ask Emma. Next question. How do I move on from a broken friendship when there wasn't any real closure? Boy, do I have experience in this. First of all, I want to give space and weight to how much that hurts because I know it does. Sometimes the person who knew you best is the one who can hurt you the worst. And that's because they know where to aim. So I would first let yourself feel the feels. It fucking sucks. I argue that it hurts a lot more than a romantic relationship breakup. Friends are people who are there because of who you are. And if they walk away, it's like, it hurts. It's a punch to the gut. So I get it. And I have been in a lot of friendship breakups where there hasn't been any closure at all, where I was ghosted. Probably like 3 times out of all my friendship breakups. And I know what you're thinking. Am I the common denominator? Like, yeah, obviously I am the common denominator, but like it wasn't always me. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, the reality is that closure is an inside job. You do not need external validation or confirmation to define closure within yourself and for yourself. It's no one else's job to close that book but your own. The unanswered questions, those don't need to be answered in order for you to heal. So yeah, it sucks. But the first step is understanding that you can find closure without that other person being involved. The second thing I would do is ask yourself, if I could talk to them right now and have an uninterrupted conversation, what would I say to them? And then I want you to ask yourself, what result or outcome am I actually hoping for if I say those things? Are you hoping they'll say, oh, you're right, let's be friends again? Do you even want that? When you're reflecting on this friendship that ended, it's so important to look at the whole thing. Sure, you may have started being friends when you were 10 years old. You may have gone to college together and had such amazing highs. But you should really identify when things started to shift. What was it? Did someone move? Did someone get into a relationship? Was there a big fight that you two never truly recovered from? Where did the bell curve start to descend? Because ultimately, it's like I've said before, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So sometimes it is to teach you a lesson. Or it could be that their time is up. They've served their purpose and things expire. Not everything is meant to last forever. But things are always meant to teach you a lesson. Or they're there for a lifetime. Some people do stay with you for a lifetime. But it's understanding that. And you might be asking why, but who are you asking that to? If there's not someone that's there to give you an answer, then you're better off unpacking what's upsetting you. Why did they leave? Okay, why does that hurt you? This is something that I learned secondhand, but from Britt Frank. Ask the question, why did they leave me? If no one is there to answer that question, then let's say, why does that question, why did they leave me? Why is that affecting you? Well, it makes me sad. Okay, so you're sad that they left you. Is that because you are afraid of being alone? Is it because you don't think that someone better is going to come along and fill that void? Is it because you think you're never going to make another friend again? That's obviously not true. So you need to go through this closure process alone. And that is hard. No one is discrediting that. I'm not discrediting that. But sometimes you have to come up with these answers on your own. And that's part of being an adult. You can't just sit around on your pity pot. That's what my mom always says. If you haven't already, you guys will realize that I get a lot of isms from my mom. And sitting on your pity pot is one of my favorite ones because it's something I will never do. Just because your friendship ended, you can't sit on your pity pot and be sad about it. You have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and keep going and keep your head up. And if that doesn't work, you could also write out what you would want to say to them. I can't tell you how many notes in my notes apps are just like very long paragraphs of things that I would say to someone, but I've never sent. Sometimes I don't even write it with the intention of not sending it. Sometimes I fully intend on sending it. But then at the end of it, I'll look at this long novel that I wrote and I'll say, what's the point? What am I really going to get back from sending this? If you ever feel like you have to prove your worth, you're in the wrong room. That's not someone you should be with. And typically in those novels, I mean, that's what I've done in the past. It's me proving myself, proving my worth, proving, I don't know, why they shouldn't leave me. But if they're willing to leave you, if they're willing to throw away a friendship of memories and heart to hearts and just like all that emotion that's gone into it, fucking show them the door. Those aren't people that you want to be with. And especially if there is no closure, like you're suggesting there isn't. If they ghosted you, fuck that. That's not a friend. Friends don't do that. So what would saying any of this do? You don't want that friend back. That person has shown you their true colors. Let them go. But you can do all those other steps to help you with the closure process. I hope that helps. Next question. Let's do a light one since I feel like those were 3 heavy hitters to start off with. Ooh, what are some of your favorite songs? So fun fact about me, I love classic rock, just like, or classic music in general. I don't even know if you call it classic. I guess it's just old rock songs, old music. Anything from the 60s, 70s specifically, I love. That's like my happy music. To name some specifically, Pictures of You by The Cure, Time of the Season by The Zombies, Crystals by Stevie Nicks, Dream On or Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. I don't know, pretty much anything by The Stones, anything by The Byrds, Fleetwood Mac, Joni Mitchell, anything by Jefferson Airplane, Go Ask Alice. Pretty sure that's the name of the song. Oh no, White Rabbit. White Rabbit was like a lot of the inspiration for the podcast, actually. It's all about Alice in Wonderland. It's like, go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall and the white horse is talking backwards and the red queen's off with her head. It's a great song. I sound awful right now, so I shouldn't even be singing this. But it's all about, I'm trying to go through the lyrics in my head. Whatever. It's all these references from Alice in Wonderland. And I have their album, Surrealistic Pillow, and it's displayed in my apartment. And I remember when I was coming up with the name of the podcast and I got the muchness from Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter. And I was looking at this album and I was like, oh my God, and everything started clicking. So a lot of inspiration from there as well. But yeah, I love all that kind of music. I have a very large record collection. It's like, I probably have 1,000 records. and a record player, which everyone fucking asks me when I say I have so many records. They're like, do you even have a record player? I'm like, duh. So that's like a huge passion of mine. But then obviously I do love stuff that's out now as well. I'm not just like only into rock music. Huge Beyonce fan, major Chapel Roan fan. She is like living rent free in my mind all the time. Pink Pony Club is probably my favorite song right now. And it has been for like the last 8 months. She is my dream guest on the podcast, by the way. Chapel, if this ever makes it to you, please come on my podcast. I feel like you are the queen of muchness, and I would love to let you sit on this throne. Also, like, I love Rufus. There's so many. I love the Dare right now. I'm just into anything that like gets me moving and grooving. So, God, I'm so old. Yeah, those are my favorite songs. Also, I have a playlist on Spotify called My All Times, and that is like truly a list of all of my favorite musics. I'll link it or drop it so you guys can see if you have any interest to jam and move and groove with me. But yeah, those are my favorite songs. Moving on. Next question. Do you believe in the right person, wrong time? No, I do not. And I will tell you why. I, first of all, do not believe in coincidences. I believe what is meant to be will be, and that includes the timing of it all. I also believe that it was just bad timing is an excuse that we tell ourselves when something doesn't work out the way that we wanted it to. So yeah, we might be sitting there saying, you know, he was so great, I really liked him, but like he was too focused on his career then, and we just couldn't make it work. What does that actually mean? I think that means that he wasn't prioritizing you and your needs weren't being met. So, no, it wasn't timing. It just wasn't meant to be. So it didn't work. I don't think you can meet the right person at the wrong time. If they're the right person, it'll also be the right time. Sure, there are definitely people that could be great for you and amazing, and you meet at one point and the timing's not great. But if they are meant for you, they will come back into your life when it is the right time, and then they will be the right person. But at that time, they were the wrong person. So I think the right time and the right person will intersect when it's supposed to. Also, I'm assuming you mean like soulmate or like the person you're going to marry kind of a thing. So that I firmly believe in. I think if it is the right person, it will be the right time as well. You could be like, oh, well, I was moving across the country. It's like, well, then, babe, it was not the right person. You will probably meet someone who is right for you in that time when you get to your new spot. And either that will work out or maybe this other person will come back. Like, look at Mr. Right and I. I saw a picture of him. Oh my God, it was almost 6 years ago at this time. I have to like adjust this story when I talk about it. I'm always like, oh, 5 years. It's been 6 years. 6 years ago, I saw a picture of him and I was like, that guy. I want to marry that guy. And I pursued at that time 6 years ago. But it didn't work out because the timing was not right. So he was not right for me back then. But the little invisible string that could was very tight around the two of us. And eventually we were brought together 4.5 years later. So he ended up being the right person. But I had to go through all those other people before getting to a point where both of us were ready to be with each other. Because I swear to fucking God, if we had met back then, it would have never worked because I was a chicken with my head cut off and he was a little frat star. He was never in a frat, but like, you know, that vibe. So I don't believe in right person, wrong time, to answer your question. Next question. What was that story with Zac Efron? Wouldn't you like to know? That is a story for another day. That's what that is. That is not going to be answered in a Q&A story, but it was a crazy one. Maybe I should just tell it right now. It's such a long story. I can't. I'll tell it another day. This is an interesting one. Porn addiction. That's how it opens up. But he's going to therapy because he knows it's a boundary. Do you think it will last? I have so many questions. Number one being like, what What kind of porn? That's the first question that pops into my head. And not because I'm like looking to add to my queue, but more because is it scratching an itch you can't scratch? And I think I mean that in like the sexuality angle. This is why I have so many questions. That would be my first one. Like, are you in a hetero relationship and he's addicted to gay porn? Like, then is it like, is there a glaring flag that, you're uncovering and that needs to be addressed, that kind of a thing? Because then I feel like that can't be fixed. And no, I don't think that would last. But looking at this as if it were just normal porn and he's addicted to it, number one, a boundary is only as strong as how you uphold it. So if this is a boundary for you and he knows that and he is consistently watching porn against your request not to, then that's a bigger issue of like their participation in the relationship and their respect for you. And you also need to uphold your boundaries. So if you're just like letting it slide and it's like consistently happening, but you're consistently letting it slide, then it's like, okay, well, you do have a responsibility to, let's say, walk away if this is a boundary that consistently is crossed. So there's definitely a lot of larger issues here. And then are your needs being met? If someone is constantly watching porn and they're relieving themselves, are you good? Are your sexual needs being met? Are you satisfied? Like, if they are doing this so often, are you guys having sex? And if you're not, because he's jacking off to porn, then like, no, this is not okay. And like, you need to prioritize yourself and you should be with a partner that is also prioritizing your needs. Even if they're going to therapy, it's like, here's another question. Like, are they still doing it even though they're going to therapy? Because then like, this guy's got a problem. I feel like I just asked you 10 questions out of your one question. I obviously can't tell you whether or not this is going to last, but it's also like, how long has this been going on? Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. It's a really hard thing to deal with because obviously watching porn is natural. Obviously masturbation is natural. But if that's a boundary you've set in the relationship and for yourself, then you shouldn't allow someone to repeatedly cross that line. You need to prioritize your needs. If those aren't being met, then that's not a relationship that you should stay in. Also, like I said, is there some kind of porn that he's watching that like you are not comfortable doing or are not going to be able to fulfill? Because that's essentially what porn is. It's a fantasy. So if he always has this fantasy, like that's really hard on a woman to see and deal with. Like, let's say it's always a threesome or something, and it's like, you never want to bring someone else into the bedroom. So like, is this guy just always gonna be wanting a threesome and he's not getting one? There's just a lot here. I think he needs to figure his shit out. And like, maybe until he does, you guys don't see each other. Also, are you married? This is very hard. It's a very hard question to answer. But I'm really sorry you're going through that. That's like not okay. He's got to figure his shit out. You should stand firm on this boundary. I don't think that this is something that you should just let go of or forget. Make sure your needs are being met. Make sure that you're happy. And like, ew, also. It's like, do you want it to last? I know you're asking if it's going to last, but like, do you want it to last? Sorry, I don't think that was a very good answer, but that's all I got. Yeah, sorry. Okay. How to know the difference between someone love bombing versus someone being sure of you quick. I don't know when this is airing, so I don't know if I have just done a love bombing episode or if I'm going to be doing one, but this is something that I have always struggled with because I think I deserve nice things. So it was really hard for me throughout my 20s, throughout my single days, to identify between someone just treating me well and getting me gifts or making me feel like a princess and love bombing. Like I thought like, oh, I deserve this. So of course I'm gonna let them treat me this way. Of course, like I this is what I deserve. So it's really hard to differentiate between they're sure of me quick and love bombing when you're in it But what I need you to identify is this igniting a level of anxiety in me? Are they laying it on so thick that when they don't, or when I don't hear from them, I'm suddenly like, oh my God, are they over me? Is this over? Is this done? Because that's a red flag. That means that they are dropping all of this on you only when they want that dopamine hit. It's not consistent. It's not a kind of love that you feel when they're not in the room or when they're not talking to you. And then sometimes when you're apart, you're like, your dopamine suddenly has a withdrawal. And you're like, I need to be with them so that I could feel that way again. That is not normal. Also, when someone calls you babe, baby, any sort of pet name, they're telling you they miss you when it's only been 2 dates or a week, that is love bombing. What the fuck do you mean you miss me? You've gone your whole life without having me in it, and you've met me twice, and now all of a sudden you miss me? No. Granted, they may not be very good articulating their feelings. They could be feeling a way where they want to see you again. That doesn't mean they miss you. When someone says, I miss you so much, it does tug at our heartstrings. That's natural. So it's kind of a tactic of love bombing. Don't let people say, I miss you after 2 dates. Sorry. And don't let them call you pet names after 2 dates. You know what that tells me? They can't keep the names straight in their fucking Rolodex, in their phone. They've got a lot of text going on. If they call everyone babe, they're not going to mix up the text. They're not going to mix up the names. Just saying. I don't mean to man bash, but that's the cynic in me. Also, like, grand gestures are not really normal in the first couple of dates. Here's the thing about people who love bomb. If someone is love bombing you, it's a very selfish thing. They want to just love, 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 shower you with gifts and all of these things because they have nothing to lose. Because this isn't about their feelings. They don't have feelings for you. They just want the gratitude that they receive when they give you gifts. They want to see how much you love them when they do these things for you. And then when you're with someone who's not love bombing you, and maybe it's a slow burn, they're acting that way because they have something to lose, because they actually care about you. And their feelings might get hurt if you leave them. So they're being cautious because their feelings might get hurt. Love bombers are not cautious because they have nothing to lose, because you're just another victim, essentially. People can be sure of you quick and still not love bomb you. People can be sure of you quick and show that by having their actions align with their words. They can show you that by being consistent with their attention and their efforts, which could just be asking you on a date or just being kind and thoughtful. That doesn't have to be big gestures of bomb-dropping love. If they don't do that, that doesn't mean that they're not into you. So that's the difference. I feel very strongly about this situation, because this is not something that I realized until a decade of being love bombed by everyone and their fucking mother. It's a hindsight generalization. Okay, last question. And this is a very hot topic. This is something that everyone asks all the time. Where can I meet men? I am 31 and dating apps don't work. Can't get a single date. Obviously, I wish there was a black and white answer for this of go here, 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 you'll meet men. Of course there's not. My answer to this is anywhere. You can meet men or a partner anywhere you fucking go. The bathroom, a restaurant, a bar. What's important is how you're carrying yourself, your energy, and your willingness to accept and welcome new opportunities and new connections. That's the difference. 2 people can go to a bar. One person can go and be on their phone and look all anxious, have a resting bitch face, and meet no one. Someone else, equally attractive, same outfit even, can go to the exact same bar, not be on her phone, be looking around, be smiling, be chatting up the bartender, and just have good energy about her. And I can't tell you how many people will flock to that person. It is all about your energy. This is what I was saying before about the confidence in going places by yourself. If you want to meet people, you gotta act like it, because People can read that energy. You go in with confidence. Look at the difference of someone sitting at the bar like this versus someone sitting there like this. Just immediately in the posture, your chin level with the ground, your shoulders back, your hands out, not on your phone. Don't be closed off. That's number one. Just your body language can make anyone come talk to you. If someone wants to meet you, they will feel way more comfortable approaching someone like that than someone who's like sitting there closed off like this. No one wants to talk to that person. You could be going to the bathroom. Just have a smile on your face. If someone's walking by and you think they're cute, make eye contact. Hold that eye contact. Smile. Let them go first. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was a flirt. Boom, done. Someone will talk to you. Like, if you're at a bar, like, I don't remember what episode I said this in. I think it was The Confidence Can Be Faked or whatever it was. Like, if you go to a bar, don't go sit in the corner. Even if they try and seat you in a corner seat, the corner table, don't do it. Sit smack dab in the middle of the room, whether you're with your girlfriends or you're by yourself. Or sit at a spot at the bar where there's empty seats around you. You can create this environment for yourself and make it so that people are able to meet you. If you go sit somewhere and like no one's able to talk to you, like who the fuck will? One of my best tips is no matter what, wherever you are, if you want to meet someone, go to the bathroom and take a roundabout route to get there. Just walk the room. Do it confidently. Leave your phone at the table. A little pep in your step, a little sway in your hips, and just look around. And you'll make eye contact with people and you can smile at them. Like, you could just do a little, and just keep walking. I guarantee you that person might come over to your table if you successfully made eye contact and they looked back. They might come over to your table and say, hi, like I noticed you walking to the bathroom. I just wanted to say hi and introduce myself. Or you can go up to them. But I am not kidding. It does not matter where you are. You could be in the fucking doctor's office waiting room. Ask someone a question, compliment their shoes, ask what they're reading. Or you don't even have to make the first move. You could just smile and give off the aura of I want to meet people. My sister used to always make fun of me for this when I was younger. We were both single and we would go to the bars and I would just like naturally always meet people. And she'd be like, how the fuck do you do this? And I'm like, it's all about your energy. And it really, truly is. Also, I will say, look good. Look your best. Be the best version of yourself. Put on a cute outfit that makes you feel confident. Do your makeup the way that makes you feel confident and good and sexy. Don't try and like wear a stupid trend just because it's trending. Wear what makes you feel comfortable and confident. Also, I am a firm believer in this. Put on a fucking heel. Just put on a fucking heel. Even if it's a kitten heel, it just elevates you. I feel so much more confident the second I go from sneakers to heels. If I'm in a bar and I'm in sneakers, I just feel short, like I'm not taking up enough space. Take up space. Maybe heels aren't for you, but like try. I would try. I think every outfit looks a little bit better with a heel. Also, some outfits can look sluttier with a heel, so obviously use your best judgment. But I'm just saying, those are my tips. There's no place where I can say like, this is where you will meet men. It's anywhere. It's just about your energy. It could be in the grocery store. It could be on a walk. Anywhere. Just get out of your fucking apartment. You can be on dating apps, but go sit at a park and be on a dating app. Just go put yourself out there, people. In my opinion. That is all the time I have today. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Ask Emma. I feel like those are really good questions. Very well-rounded. I really enjoyed them. I also think that there are so many episodes that can come from all those questions. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions about anything ever, or even stories where you want my advice, I'll probably start doing some story time episodes. Send those in. I've got a Google form at the link in bio. You can submit like longer stories there. Otherwise, I always do little Q&As. You could drop them there. I bank these questions, or you can DM me whenever you want. I will always save them and answer them here. Yeah. So send questions. Go buy my merch. We got Too Much hats. We got In My Opinion hats. We got sweatshirts, tank tops, wine tumblers. I sound like I'm a guy selling t-shirts outside of Yankee Stadium, but whatever. You got to do what you got to do. I hope you wear your Too Much merch all summer. I hope you get outside. I hope you meet fucking people. Everyone, energy up. out there. Get out there. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you guys next week. Oh, wait. Also, 5 stars, comment. Drop also like any episodes you want to see. Whatever. That's it. Go follow Emma's Too Much everywhere. See you next week.